What is going on, everybody? Come on in the room, my friends. Come on in the room, my friends. Am I live? Is it on? Is it on? Is this thing recording? Okay, it's on. I see people coming in. What is going on, y'all? This is your nerd boy cutie reporting for duty to do the Lord's work once again. And I'm here talking about a new show. New show to y'all, let me talk about it, but honestly, one of my favorite shows of all time. I mean, if you were alive and old enough to watch TV, who was not watching Making the Band on MTV in the early 2000s? It was the American Idol for black people that we really needed. I mean, let's just be very frank. P. Diddy was everything. His career, was like at an all-time high, and Making the Band was really like a phenomenon. Like, we not gonna sleep. Y'all not gonna sleep. And I love Diddy. I'm gonna say that right now. I love Diddy. I watched Making the Band every episode, and the stuff that I heard him tell the artist about grinding and doing that, those things still live with me to this day. Like, I remember when I can't remember who it was, whatever the situation was, but Diddy had walked up in that house late night one time and was like, what the fuck they doing sleep? What y'all doing sleep? You can sleep while you dead. While you sleep, there's somebody out there getting your money and bread. I was like, he didn't say it like that. That actually kind of sounded kind of dope. But I'm paraphrasing, but you get the point. That quote stayed with me forever. And this is why I be having bags underneath my eyes at fucking 26. Cause Diddy told me when I was 7 and 6 and 8 that if I'm asleep, another hoe gonna get my shit. Point is, it was a very influential reality TV show, very influential music competition show, and I just so happened to be sitting on the couch, child, flipping through the YouTube, and I see this playlist of Making the Band Season 2, Making the Band Season 3, Making the Band Season 4. Making his band. So believe you me, this has opened the floodgates for me because I want to talk to everybody. It's definitely not top 5 on my favorite shows of all time, but it's definitely top 10. Like, how can you not like Making the Band? I like Making the Band. Okay, so for those of you who may be new to me, talking to past personalities from reality TV shows. Listen, I am in no shape or form trying to expose anybody, trying to make anybody look bad. My whole goal, like as I did with Top Model, as I did with Jocelyn's Cabaret, as I dibble-dabble with Legendary, and now that I'm doing this with Making the Band, is to provide a safe space for these personalities and people who we once fell in love with to come and share their story, tell us what really happened, tell us what happened, what is going on in their way, their fashion, the way that they want to, okay? I just want to talk to them because I'm like, I used to watch you on TV. It's a fangirl moment for me. Listen, I'm not an interviewer. I am just a nosy bitch that's not afraid to ask the questions. I did speak to Mysterious before this interview, only because there were some things, as you guys know who are familiar with her story, that are touchy. And she did agree to talk about some of those things in the way that she wants to. So I just want to remind you guys, let's be kind, let's be nice, let's be appreciative that she's taking the time out to come sit and talk with me for you guys and me and all the other stuff. And let's just be all about love, understanding, compassion, patience, all those things. Without further ado, let's bring in my skin bitch.
Hey. You thought nobody was behind that? You thought it was just a thing just sitting there? How you doing?
What's going on?
How you doing? I'm happy
you
to
breaking
see
up the
you.
scene already, girl.
How are you? In that mirror, I'm doing great. How are you?
You know what? It is hot as hell in Atlanta. I think we're going through a heat wave. I think it's a heat wave
Really?
going on because it's hot, but you can fry chicken right now on the sidewalk. It's ridiculous.
Well, I'm trying to get back to Atlanta and get to cooking.
And where are you in the world?
I'm in Jersey.
Jersey, okay.
Yes, but I'm from Detroit.
Right, I remember,
Detroit,
okay.
yes, but I'm in Jersey. I'm in Bergen County. That's where I stay at. Yes.
So, like, do people still remember you from back in the day? Well, clearly, if I'm talking to you, but, like, besides me in this moment, do people still remember you from back in the day?
Yes, a lot of people remember me. It be tripping me out sometimes because, you know, that show was like, I want to say, that show was like 20 years ago. Something like that. That's a long time.
Yeah.
You know, we in 2022, so, yeah, a lot of people remember me. So that means that we gave a great impact on the world, you know?
I was just about to... No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm listening.
No, I was just about to say, how does it feel for people to still remember you from that show, still want to talk to you about it? How does it feel?
For me, it feels great. A lot of people want to talk to me because of my story. You know, the young lady who, you know, wowed out on TV, spazzed out, and then, you know, a lot of things happened in my life that I came through. So a lot of people look at me like a triumph story. So that's a real cool thing, you know. So I didn't really get too much hate along the way, more of I feel yous and more of, you know, support, you know, along the way.
Dope. So before we jump into talking about making the band where the world met you, what were you doing before making the band?
Okay, before making the band, I was in Detroit. I used to squat. Y'all know about squatting? Like different houses, vacant houses, squatting. Me and my dude, times was hard when making the band came around. And prior to that, I was also in like abusive relationship, and I ran away from this guy that I was with. I actually was like 15 years old. He was 16. He started shooting at me in the house. I sent you the pictures. That's going to be on my documentary. So I went through a lot of abuse. So music was like my outlet. So making the band came around when I got with this new guy. And my god brother Nugget was telling me about Diddy coming to Detroit and was like, yo, you should go ahead and audition. I said, Diddy will never pick me. I'm too hard. You know what I'm saying? That's how I felt at the time. But I went out there, I auditioned. I made it through 75,000 people to the final 12. You know, that was a great experience. But before that, I was doing a lot of open mics. A lot of people knew me in the city. I ran with Boss, the rapper Boss. I ran with Eminem and all of them, D12, all of them. Because at the time when Making the Band came around, I could have did the 8 Mile movie, but I wanted to do that, Making the Band.
Really?
I could have been at 8 Mile with Miss Corona and everybody, but I chose Making the Band.
So you telling me you know Eminem?
Yeah.
Or new Eminem, or what's the...
Yeah, Eminem knows me. That's my bro. Detroit stand-up. We all started off C-No Lounge, The Shelter, all of that. Strike Money, everybody. Yeah, I'm very known.
This not a part of my question, but how was Eminem back in the day? I personally like that white man. I like him.
Eminem, I want to say this. Eminem had a lot of heart. Eminem ran with Proof and everybody, and was a good dude, you know, especially coming from across 8 Mile into the city to the open mic. He had a lot of heart, real cool dude. Everything that he's about right now, that's who he was. He was a lot of chunkier back then. Brown hair, though. You know, chunky. He wasn't as skinny as he is now, but yeah. Marshall was a real good guy. Yeah.
Shout out to Marshall.
Yes, Marshall. Mysterious said, "What's up?" You know.
Right. So I'm literally watching Making the Band, like falling back in love with it. I'm like, oh my God, I remember watching this. I remember all of this. I remember this. Now sitting in 2022, watching this show that happened 20 years ago, what I really liked about it was that we were watching them basically put the show together. Like Diddy was on a yacht, and Diddy was cussing people out at MTV and was like, y'all got the nerve to be sending cameras to the courthouse. I need this, I need this, I need this. Like we were watching him literally make the band, make the show. We saw that. What was it like for you as a contestant auditioning for this show? Was it chaotic? Did it seem structured? Was it organized? What was your experience like? It was not
organized.
What'd you say?
It was not organized. It was not structured. Diddy, I give big shout out to him. I learned a lot from him with what he did with Making the Band into what I'm doing now. He freestyled a lot. everything was like, okay, like the one part when if you go back to it, a lot of contestants was making it, everybody was happy. Then all of a sudden, here go Diddy. Oh, they think they done made it. Send everybody the fuck home. Like, he really was spazzed out like that. You never knew what to expect from him. You had to stay on your toes. The competitions was like, I want to say, like, I can't even explain how intense going through these rounds with Diddy was. Like, it was like, it's like living or dying. Like, it was just, it was amazing. But it was not organized at all. He freestyled along the way. But his creative mind got us to where, you know, the world knows, you know?
Right. So we know, like, with these shows, of course, Diddy is the face of the show, but there's other people, and we on the show, like, we saw those people. We saw Allison. We saw some of the producers and whatnot, and we'll talk about Allison a little bit later. I'm curious to know, with you saying that it felt freestyled a lot, was the production company, like, were they taking care of y'all? Like, were y'all, like, eating, hydrating, sleeping, accommodations?
We were eating. We were getting allowance every 4 days. This is what people don't want to talk about. You know, Diddy did me dirty, but during the time, yes, we were eating. They paid for that. Every 4 days, we got an allowance. We had a roof over our head, and it was just basically go time. And when the business people were around, I'm not going to lie, they really was there for us, like telling us what to do, what not to do. And then, I want to say, damn, you got me. I'm trying to keep this politically correct, but a lot of people are mad at Diddy when it was more people involved, like Viacom, you know.
Okay.
Who Diddy actually was doing it for. He was the face. So who got majority of the money? Viacom. Even Diddy got sued after making the band. So a lot of band members go after Diddy, lashing out. Oh my God. But if you read in the contract, it says as long as he got you signed, then he's obligated to. But after that, it was a wrap. But mainly you were signed to Viacom and Bad Boy. So people be forgetting about Viacom.
What part does Viacom play in the making the band?
Owning the name, you know how the shows go, owning the name, owning the content. Basically, if the show was still going, then the band was still going. Different things like that. And you know, the residual cuts and different things like that we didn't know as kids that was going on. But anybody that's in this business, I always believe you got to give up a little to gain the bigger picture anyway. No matter what deal you come across, the first deals is always going to be what they say is shitty. If you don't mind me.
Oh no, baby, say what you want to say. It's fine.
You know, it's going to be shitty, but you got to know your business. It's about what you want to gain at the end. At the end, the way I feel, there's no way we could have paid for all that exposure.
Okay.
MTV put a lot of money. It was a worldwide television show. So when you think about it now, like people who want to get on Love and Hip Hop, and we was the first, you know, you want to get on Love and Hip Hop and get this exposure, is the same thing. But back then it was really, really crazy. So it's not as like now where you can get hot on social media, become a personality and stuff like that. You had to really be discovered back then. And reality TV was new back then. So they was putting a lot of money into it back then.
And like, what's your feelings towards MTV and Viacom? Like, you good with how they treated you?
Listen, man. I'm the person on the show that's like, let's get to the money because I know the business now. You know, I have my own publicity company, branding company, so I understand the business. I make content, I make films myself. So at the end of the day, yes, I would still do business with them. Of course, I know the backdrop, you know.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. I ain't got no ill will. I would still, you know what's so crazy? I would still do business with Diddy because you know that chapter is still open.
Okay. I being a nerd, I just like being nosy. I'd be liking to know. It'd be so many questions popping in my head.
I love you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And so, of course, like I said earlier, they were showing a lot of like the Viacom execs, MTV execs. Well, it was really the MTV execs and producers. Just like a little side note, a lot of those people are now like senior executives over there at Viacom now.
I know. And
they're all like big top dogs. It was one Caucasian lady. She's like a big person over there now.
And look, I'm like this, knock, knock, knock. I'm looking all this stuff on the street. Come on. The Black and These rock star everything that I've been through, making the band, to me, finally getting that plaque. I got 8 of them, Billboard plaques. Now, back then, the crazy part about it, I don't know about anybody else, but people didn't know we were Billboard artists back then. A lot of people like, well, Mysterious, how you a Billboard artist? For those who don't know, if you get on the album and it gets a Grammy, it gets a Billboard, do you become a Billboard artist? So shout out to Diddy for putting me on that album. You know, so back then, to have 8 Billboards, but I didn't know it. If I would have knew the things that I knew now, I would have cashed out a long time ago. You know,
Right.
I'm about to get a royalty check from back then. Shout out to Bad Boy. Shout out to MTV.
Really?
Yes. Shout out to my lawyer. So I have no beef with him. I have no beef. No beef. Shout out to my lawyer. Yes, yes.
Okay, so this girl, you derailing my whole line of questions because you just and now I want to know. So how did that come about? That you're telling me that you're about to get, because you were on the band album,
Yeah,
which we'll get into later about you coming in and Babs was mad and all this other stuff.
yeah, we can talk about that too.
Right. But like now you're saying that you're gonna get a royalty check. Tell me how that happened. Like what's going on?
Okay, so this is the bomb thing. Well, the way the paperwork was made, you had to make a certain amount of basically like hit like 800,000 to $1 million have sold, and then you could start getting royalty checks and different things like that. Now I am the young lady, you know, broke the glass wild out, and not to mention Harv, shout out Harv. He called me after then like, why did you do that? Because nobody knows Diddy was going to give me a solo deal that night.
But that feels right though. I felt that.
I fucked up and spazzed out. Where they was like, yo, you never want to look like a liability in this business.
True.
So back then, you know, with the spazzing now, people not really used to that. And, you know, Diddy kind of look like, hold up now, I don't want you tearing up my office if I do something. Something don't go your way, you know? So getting on the album at the time, I had a lawyer. But the lawyer that I had at that time, we got lost contact, and, you know, things start happening in mysterious life. You know, I went people, places, and things that we'll probably talk about. Mm-hmm. And eventually, you know, things started accumulating. I got a good lawyer now. He started digging. And I got a check.
Well, congratulations, Mysterious. That's what's up.
Thank you. And I want to put my money, not into bashing Diddy or anything. I want to, you know, do my life story. And I also want to put my money into myself, because a lot of times back then, people didn't know how to market me. That was another thing too, because I was so different. Mm-hmm. You know, I think they thought I wanted to stay in the baggy pants and stuff. No, I wanted to be like how Nicki and them is now, but I just got a rough voice, you know. Mm-hmm. So they didn't know how to, you know, put that together and, you know, different things like that. So I want to show the world what, you know, they should have did back then.
So I want to know, I got my questions over here as I'm looking at the screen. How was it finally auditioning in front of Diddy? Y'all was in like this room. He was sitting at this table. It was a bunch of people around. I was like, listen, I can tell this is early reality TV. It told me to excuse my French, niggas right now. People sitting around. Y'all gonna sit y'all ass down. Sit down. But how was it?
Yo, shout out to his mom, because I know it was hard, and his mom, who really, when I walked out, like, right? So when I first came in there, right? Now, check this out. I ain't gonna lie. I thought, okay, so in Detroit, I gotta tell you this part, because if I don't tell you this part, then that's like not giving the beauty of my story, you know? Definitely. So my god brother Nugget had me come out to the Fox Theater. Actually, they kidnapped me, came to the house and said, you know, you're going to go get something to eat. Because when he offered it the first time, I said, Diddy's not going to sign me. I'm too gangster. I'm not going to go down here and embarrass myself, you know. So he came and picked me up the next day. And I was with my baby father at the time. So they're like, yeah, let's go out to eat. And, you know, me, I never turned down no food. I like to eat. So I got in the car. We passed on all these restaurants. I'm like, what restaurant are we going to? They like, we're going to get to the restaurant after we go here. So now I'm kidnapped. You know, they like, we going downtown. We gonna see what this is about. You know, Misty was being really, really extra. I don't want to go. You know how that go. Uh-huh. So I get down there, We at the Fox Theater, like 4 buildings. The line was wrapped around 4 buildings, yo. It was like a movie. It felt like I stepped from one side of life to the next side as soon as I got there, right?
Wow.
So now I'm like, oh, hell no. Ain't no way I'm getting in this shit. So you know how you looking for reasons to go up on your people. So I'm like, I told you. Shit ain't out. All these people, blah, blah, blah. They like, you gonna walk this line. You popular enough in the city to where you can walk this line and somebody gonna let you get in front of them. So I'm like, all right, we're going to walk this line. If don't nobody let me get to the front, by the time I get to Fox Theater, I am leaving. Because this is crazy out here. Because I'm telling you, I'm telling you, when the movie comes, I'm talking about people was outside in tents. Wow. Like, it was crazy, right? So, walk the line. I get right to the Fox Theater building, right? Somebody let me get, shout out to Anonymous. I never forget you to this day. That's a artist in Detroit named Anonymous who let me get in front of him. He like, yeah, Mysterious, get in front of me. Da-da-da-da. So we talking. Next thing you know, this is a true story. A black cloud come. You know how it's a real hot day. So I'm looking, I'm like, oh, you know how when it's so hot, you like it's about to rain? And I'm looking, I'm like, oh my God, there's a cloud coming. It's about to rain. So now the cloud comes. When I tell you, it started raining like cats and dogs, like somebody just dumped a whole pool on me. You know, everybody started leaving. It's about like 50 people now. I want to leave. I'm like, now I look fucked up getting on TV. That's the first thing I was thinking, right? If I get in here and I'm drenched up and I look like this, it's a wrap. My baby daddy, you're a bad boy. You gonna stay in this line. You a star. You gonna get wet. They gonna see how you want it. This, that, and the third, right? So now we get up to the front. The security comes out. And when security come out, they said, look, we only taking 5 more people. That's it. So now I'm like, what the? Now everybody outside like, hell no. So the song, move, bitch, get out the way. That song was out. So now everybody is fucking saying this shit outside. Get out the fucking way. My baby daddy, shout out to my baby daddy. He snuck behind security, waved me in, like, because they wasn't paying attention. I creeped in, walked in the foyer. A lady from MTV came right into the foyer and was like, I'm only taking 1 more person. It had to be like 100 people there. And they said, you come on. She pointed right at me. And I said, me? She like, you better come on. I ain't gonna take you in there. And it was like, we've been out here for hours. That's how I got in.
Okay, 2 things are going on right now. 3 things. First of all, that was a dope ass story. Dope.
Really? As
you're telling this story in Atlanta, right? I'm in Atlanta. It's thundering and lightning right now. Like it's literally just got dark outside and it's about to rain.
Hey, look, you know it's so crazy. Everybody always say I have this magical, enchanting power when I tell stories. I swear to God.
No, seriously, it's literally just started thundering. The third thing was, why do I know Anonymous from Detroit?
Yes, he's
why do I know that name?
Artist in Detroit. He's a legend now. You know, he was back there with Eminem and all this when he was coming up in the open mics. You got a lot of people that was known from back then. His name is Anonymous.
I don't know. I feel like I know that name. I'm gonna do.
You gotta look him up. Shout out to him. If it wasn't for him, hey, y'all wouldn't know this serious. And mind you, a lot of people like Nigeria Earth, a few people that came out that auditioned, they didn't make it. Mm-hmm. You know, but you know, I love them. You know, they're part of my city. It is what it is, and we here now. But yeah, that's how I got in. So when I got in there, right, Hard Pierre, he was sitting there at the table. Then it was all MTV, Fox Theater. Like it's thundering outside. I'm like, this is a movie, right? Walks in, Harvey and them see me, I'm drenched. You know how people be laughing because I'm gonna tell you, Bad Boy was like a fraternity. You know the big brothers and big sisters, like you gotta make it in. So when I came in, you know, you see the snickering with the executives and everybody. So I get on stage. Harv says to me, he said, what you gonna do? I said, you know, my voice is different from my rapping voice. So I was like, yeah, I'm a rap. And Harv was like, you gonna rap? What beat you gonna rap to? I said, give me Niggas Bleed by Biggie. He gave me that niggas bleed, and I started rapping. Yo, everybody went crazy. Next thing you know, they said, "Hey, stop." I'm like, "Why? I'm just getting into it. Why would y'all?"
I remember that. You was like, "I'm just getting to my verse." You did say that. You did say that.
When I started and my voice came through like the thunder on the microphone, the people up on the balcony that know me from the city was like, "Oh, Mysterious, they's about to get you." And they like, I'm like, "Oh, I'm just getting started. Like, come on now." And then they took me upstairs and I talked to shout out Kenny Hall, because you never forget the people who start you off. That's why I'm shouting out everybody along the way. Kenny Hall, he took me to the side. He was one of the producers of the show. Took me to the side, interviewed me, got to know me, and then next thing you know, they had us come downstairs. Now this is the part. Now they start separating us. So they said, some go on this side, some go on that side, some go on this side. So they put me on the right-hand side, right? So I'm like, oh man, what's about to happen? They looked at the left side. The producers could be so dramatic. They looked at the left side, looked at my side, the left side, and they said, everybody on the left, I'm sorry. We're going to have to let y'all go. Oh my God, security come. People go, oh, what the fuck? Da-da-da. I tried to da-da-da. I'm like, oh shit. So now they looking at us. I'm like, and I swear, in the beginning, friend, I did feel like I was going to spaz out, because I'm like, if these niggas embarrass me like these niggas are. So they looked and they said, y'all made it to the next round. I could have passed out. I ran outside. My baby daddy, my godbrother Nugget, shout them out. They were still outside in that rain waiting for me. I said, yo, hey, you're back. I just was talking to him and just, letting them know.
No, you are totally fine. You are totally fine. So they separate y'all.
Yes. They separate.
And
No,
they separate y'all, and then is that when y'all performed in front of Diddy?
No, so when they separated, they said we got to come back the next day. So the next day I came back and I did it again. So what happened was I came back. Shout out DJ Kim James in Detroit. He said, yo, you do what you did yesterday. I'm telling you, you're going to make it. So I got up there, did the same thing. And then they said the first person to go out to see Sean P. Diddy Combs is Mysterious. I was the first person they called during the whole audition.
Shout out to you, Mysterious. Shout out to you. Now, I ain't gonna lie. I remember watching, like I said, I'm back. I'm binge watching it. You had called an attitude with those people. You was like, I'm just getting into my verse, and y'all stopping me. How was it?
They did that to me the whole show.
Mm-hmm. They did. They stopped you.
And to piss me off, he did that too on the album. Cut. 4 lines. I want it so bad I can taste it. You better move, do something, because I'm getting impatient. It's so bad I can taste it. With the gun up in my waist, I'm losing patience, and that's it. They do me like that.
What's your belief on why you feel like they did you like that?
Because I was before my time. I'm very talented, and I felt like, Diddy not signing me at that time. I really feel like he didn't want to give people a heads up on signing me. I really feel that way. I could be wrong, but that's the way I personally feel.
Now, I have a question about one of my favorite people. You just jogged my little memory from being a child. One thing I used to love about seeing Diddy in public, whether it was at an award show or on the show, I knew his mama was going to be with him, and she was going to have on her a bang wig with a thick-ass motherfucking coat. This is just bringing about memories. I need to go. Where is Diddy's mama at?
Yeah, I love her. You know what? I never got a chance. For one, I'm going to do it on your show because you're so bomb. I never got a chance to apologize to Diddy. And I never got a chance to apologize to his mom or Bad Boy staff. Now, a lot of people are like, yo, Mysterious, why would you do that? That's like 20 years ago. Because I became an executive myself, and I understand, everything that he was trying to tell us then. I understand his position, how he felt back then, because I'm in them positions now. And I understand the love he had for me. I really spent. That's like you have love for somebody, and you telling them what's right, and you got a gift for them, and then all of a sudden they just like, nigga, fuck you. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
And I really feel like I started the whole fuck Diddy shit with the making the band shit.
You feel like you did?
I really feel like that, and I really was young at the time, you know, and I just was trying to find myself, and I had a lot of anger issues because of what I was going through personally, you know, in my life and what I was trying to make it out of, you know. So his mom really believed in me. The whole Bad Boy staff, they all, you know what I mean, was like, yo, mysterious, like, and for me to behave in that manner and not wait until to see what was going to happen, you know.
Yeah.
I really feel so bad about that. But hopefully Diddy proud of me now. Came back, got my 8 billboards, got my royalty check. You feel me? I'm doing business with Ricky Rose. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here in these streets. TV. I'm the princess of Wall Street. I took over Wall Street. I got my office in Rockefeller Center, like doing my movies and stuff. Like I'm here. So
congratulations to you, mama.
That making the band really did do good for some of us. Everybody gonna cry about their checks and stuff, but I feel as though if you really listen to Diddy, there's no way that nobody should be successful right now.
Yeah.
There's no way. It's no way. And then they got a chance to go on tour with them. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got a chance to be there. Like, I would have flipped it. Like, I took my little time and I flipped it on them. You feel me? Let me would have been on the stage. Let me would have made connections. Let me would have grasped to where the world just loved me like that. I wouldn't have started beefing with Diddy. I would have just did my own thing, and we just would have been us just going, you know, how it is. You know what I'm saying? But
and you know,
I feel as though.
And you know what? I think people are accustomed to the making the band Diddy that got popular when Danny Kane was popular. And, Diddy was Diddy always had a strong ego and, like, he always been shit. But when I was watching Diddy with y'all, Diddy seemed so humble. He seemed so inviting. He seemed so, like, into the whole process of really wanting to see y'all succeed. And I'm sitting here, like, watching, like, people like Chopper and them. And Mysterious going crazy. I'm like, y'all are Diddy's. You don't know people want to be in Diddy presence. Like,
can I speak on something?
Yeah, go ahead.
And I'm speaking on everything with love. To shout out Babs. I still love Babs. We still communicate. You know, we were young back then. It was a competition, and it is what it is. I love everybody in the band, but might I speak maturely about certain things? I feel as though that, they might say, "Oh, Mr. You wasn't there." I got my check from 18 years ago. I understand. I'm finally getting my royalty check. I ain't have to be all out loud, fuck Diddy and all that, because it's not going to get you nowhere. At the end of the day, if I could drop a jewel on your show, the game is really about this big. It's really this big. You have people who have relationships with people. You go off on Diddy. How do you expect to sign with a Rick Ross? How do you expect to sign with a Jay-Z? You know what I'm saying? Oh, fuck that nigga, da. But then you go to Jay-Z and you on his desk. And he's like, well, when you have a, disagreement, you might, put me out there like that. You might, spaz on me in my kingdom. So at the end of the day, I'm always going to tell people that's not the right way to go, especially if your change ain't up. If your change up, then it's different. Then you got money, then you can go to NBC, you could go to Fox, you could pay Hot 97, you could go to all these places because you can pay to be in these avenues to get your voice out there. But when you don't have the money and you're angry about the money, and then you're trying to go at a giant, man, you're gonna can yourself. Yeah. So I felt like I felt bad for Freddie P. Why? If you remember when I did not make the band, and that night I spazzed out and I walked up the stairs, he was laughing at me. If you go back, everybody laughed at me when I didn't make it. You feel what I'm saying? It was like, we made it, we on top. I always looked at that show and say, why didn't they seize that moment, though? A lot of things that they were doing, fighting in the studio, that's just my personal opinion from 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying? To not do that. But I noticed when Diddy said he was calling to bring me back, did y'all notice everybody got on their bike? They ain't want Mysterious to come back. Remember?
Oh no. Now listen, I just watched this episode before getting on this thing, and I said, because they was showing out, and when Diddy said he finna call Mysterious, everybody went to work. They went to work.
And look, I always bring that pressure. You know what I'm saying? And one thing that I can say, I'm like that now as an executive. Mm-hmm. You know, I've been through a lot, Oliver, and I'm going to talk to you about it because you're so bomb, and I feel as though I feel safe to talk to you, you know, to really go into the crevices of what people really want to know about me, you know. So at the end of the day with Diddy, they did not seize the moment, and I kept on wishing I could get back. And when Diddy did call me back, he did it just to tease him because he knows I'm hardworking. He know he'll put me in any song, anything. Diddy knows Mysterious. I'm a problem.
Right.
But they knew it too. But that's how he got the album out of them.
Right. Everybody need to thank Mysterious. Thank Mysterious for putting that pain and pressure across their neck and their back. Because they got
like, hell no, Mysterious ain't coming back. Hell no.
Right.
No, that shit was crazy. My mouth was like, because you know they do editing a certain way. Shout out Babs, I love you. You feel what I'm saying? Because like when Babs came back, I was like, yo, if anybody deserves to be here, it's Babs. You know, because I'm a very humble young lady. You know what I'm saying? I feel as though if this female rap, this person sing, this person do that, she can't do what I do. So I don't really feel intimidated by nobody. So I am good to say, yo, this female can be here or this person. But when it came down to old Mysterious, oh, they was like, oh,
that was funny.
And so then I got on my bullshit back then. I ain't gonna lie, I got on my bullshit back then. I was going to Wendy Williams. I was like, yo, it's me against the band. Yo, every time I was talking shit, like, yo, every time they see me, they gonna run up out the club. I was on their ass a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But we older, I love them. You know what I mean? Babs is doing the Queen of the Rings. Ness is doing something the weekend in Philly. You know, I just did the car show with Ricky. That shit was big. Shout out Ricky, yo.
Shout out Ricky Rose.
Yo, he's different.
So, Martin, this is a question from Martin Copeland. He is saying, you're absolute gold. Please ask Mysterious who her musical influences are. Her voice and flow are so unique.
Oh, I love you. So, all right. My first rap influence is the female rapper Boss. You ever heard of her? Deeper and deeper. She be like, I don't really wanna feel her. So you gotta look her up. Then Scarface. Then it's Tupac. And then don't look at me weird, y'all. Janis Joplin. Okay, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Right? I love Janis Joplin. Beethoven. And when you say, how is that a musical influence? Do you know I sit and practice rapping to classical music? That's how I know my tones.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so Bach and Beethoven and them are really my influences. It's funny you asked me that. Like, you know, I'm a real geek with that type of stuff. But I practice the classical music.
Mm-hmm. What were you feeling when Diddy said, send everybody home and we're looking for more talent?
You want to know the truth? If you look on it, they edited it out. That's how you know it was freestyle. Because look, after that, you see us all in the hotel, right? Mm-hmm. And I was like, this should motivate us to just do what we got to do. Before that, I swear to God, I was telling everybody, sitting there, I was like, yo, they about to send us home. It's no way that this is what Diddy, because it really wasn't not like that. It was talent. But it was making the band. This is MTV. They wanted more people there. So I felt like they was going to do that. I said it on camera. And then they turned around and did it, but they cut it out.
Mm-hmm. And how did you feel in that moment? Like, because all y'all had to go back home.
I felt at that moment, I felt like, okay, because it didn't really just start yet. So my heart wasn't set on,
Gotcha.
the rounds and everything. It was like, get back down here to the D, get to what I got to do. But guess what? When he sent us back a week later, Diddy sent a car for me, a limo, sent me to the airport in a limo. When I got to New York, picked me up with a limo. I think I was the only one that was getting that service. I should have picked up the signs then that I was Diddy's favorite.
Rich shit.
I should have. I just didn't pick up the signs.
And so once y'all come back and there's new people there, how did it feel when he finally called your name to be like one of the final people going to the house to see who's going to make the band?
If you notice, at first I didn't think he was going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I was sitting there nervous as hell with my ponytail looking all...
Mysterious in his ponytail.
I should have... MTV wasn't right. They had us out there looking really bummified back then. But that's the moment when it hit me that I really wanted to do this. When we was at Justin's and I was sitting there weighing Detroit, weighing what I was running from, weighing what I told my family I was going to do, weighing what I was going to tell my friends. Then I'm sitting there looking like, yo, this is really Diddy in front of me, yo. This nigga got to call me, man. That's all. And I was sitting there like, yo, if he just give me a chance, and I still feel like that to this day, and making the band is over. You know what I'm saying? To where I'm giving my own self a chance. But that moment with Diddy, a person that's that accomplished, because when I was a kid, Oliver, I promise you, I used to look at Diddy with Biggie when that bad boy come out to play. I used to tell my friends, I'm like, yo, I'm going to meet him one day. I used to tell them that all the time. So when I was there and it finally was going on, I was like, yo, this is really Diddy. Oh my God, I really got in the competition. This is really it. That's when it hit me. That's why when I perform, get your hands in the air if you need some paper. I would try to go hard like Diddy. I need some money. Fuck all this making a band shit. This is how I feel. I promise you, this is how I was cutting into Diddy and 18. Fuck this making a band. Put me in a fucking studio. Put me with a stylist. Get me out here in this paint, and I'm gonna go hard. I'm like a pit bull in a skirt. I don't need no band members. I used to be like, they gonna slow me down. And look, they was fighting. If I would have been in there, I would have said, yo, I'm the captain. This nigga getting kicked out. That nigga getting kicked out. And we gonna have other auditions for new niggas to come in. Because y'all niggas slowing me the fuck down. That's why Diddy was so tired.
That is funny. That is funny.
Look, I gotta trust you with my life. That's like if me and you in a band, me and you in a group. That means you my brother. Like that means like if somebody pulling a gun, look, we both jumping in front of the bullets for each other. Like we go hard to go home, and I gotta help you get this money, and you gotta help me get this money. Right. How are we ops in the same group? The competition over. They were still competing with each other. I would have been a nigga like, listen, I'm gonna fuck around and get a solo. Look, while they would have been beefing, I would have made a solo album and everything. No
right. Oh my God, Mysterious. So we see Diddy and the show start putting y'all through like intense artist development training. The first thing we see is these field days, these like boot camps, and you wasn't here for it at first. Not when you had that moment, but it was like a first one. How was it being physically trained, physically active? I'm pretty sure in a way you had never been before. How was that for you, girl? I mean, we saw what happened, but how was it in the beginning?
You know what's so crazy? I used to play ball in school, right? And I thought my coach worked me out then. Ain't no workout like Diddy. I think Diddy was on some type of, I don't know, type of stuff. They had us on them workouts was excruciating, but I understand it now. Because when you're doing a 45-minute set, when you're bouncing all around the stage, you're dancing, you gotta be able to have your wind up and your body gotta feel like noodles, like normal to that. So you gotta go through this extensive training in order to get there. Oh my God, but I didn't know. Lord have mercy. Diddy workout.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody threw up. I forgot his name. Damn, what's his name? One of the contestants, y'all know him too. The one who used to always fall asleep, but y'all seen him a little bit, not much. We used to say, damn, how you gonna go on the road? He always fell asleep.
Uh-huh.
But he threw up. Some other people fell out. Like, it was bad. And that was Diddy's way of sending us home.
Right. Like, you can't handle it.
And that's how people was getting cut. Yo, Diddy was wrong. It was some good people that was, I can't say wrong, but it was really some good people that it's like, yo, if you didn't make it through the workout, we sorry, you going home. I felt bad for a lot of people. You know, I'm on the side like, damn, I know I'm about to go home. That's why when you seen when I was running, they was like, we don't want Mysterious to go home. They came and got me like, no,
They
man.
came and got you. How was it dancing in front of Diddy? Like, all the girls had to come dance in front of Diddy and show him your moves. I don't know. Yeah, I just told you, I just binge watched the whole thing. How was it? It's on YouTube. Like, all the episodes are on YouTube. I binge watched the whole thing.
You know what's so crazy? Can I be honest with you?
Mm-hmm.
I loved being creative in front of Diddy, but I was very insecure back then.
Mm-hmm.
So I couldn't get into my bad girl image that I got now. Like, I feel like I could drop it like it's hot now. I could sexy wine, all that. But back then, it was like, yo, this girl right here, she's prettier. Oh, wow, this girl outfit is like that. Oh, wow. Oh, man, I'm about to get cut. But Diddy didn't cut me because I guess, you know, when I got up there, I just had fun. Like, it was like, just did whatever. But, you know, back then, yeah, like, it was a lot. It was a lot with the other women, especially with somebody like Diddy. And then a person like myself. And that was another reason why I used to say then, oh, Diddy's not going to put me in a band because I felt like, and me and Diddy had this conversation. Oh, he came to, I don't know if you seen it. He came and I was like, so what is it that you looking for? He was talking to me. I had on a sweatsuit or something and a blue sweatsuit. And I was telling him they cut it. I said, I don't think you gonna like me because I'm big. I'm a big girl. I was like, yo, my voice deep and this, that, and the third. Diddy said to me, he said, you talk to the person who signed Biggie and Craig Mack.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, right.
Come on, flavor in your ear.
You know, but I blew it by spazzing out. That's what blew it. That right there, and I'm not knowing, you know what I mean? Like my temperament or my, you know, damn, we don't want this again. You know, that's what blew my situation. But they had the solo contract that night.
Which we're gonna get to. We're gonna get to it. What's up, DSJ? Now to get to some fun stuff. You and Chopper had like a tiff early on, and y'all were in a room, and you was like, "Don't disrespect me. Don't dis." And what was going on with you and Chopper?
Chopper is, I have to say, and you know what? I'm praying for Chopper. Look, even though I feel as though the band be like, you know, I don't care what they say. I'm the seventh member of the band.
Let them
can't
know.
do nothing without me. You know.
Let them know. Let them know, Mysterious.
So, Chopper is amazing at mind games. He is the master of the 48 laws of power. If you ain't never read that, listen. Chopper know that book inside, out, and frontward. Okay. Mm-hmm. Chopper was there to get everybody out there positioned mentally. He came with a different war strategy, and I really, now that I'm older, I admire him for it. And you know, when he get out his little trouble, he got this new song online. What he said, I like this new song. I can't even think of the title. But me and him need to get up and do a song. His new style and my new style. I'm telling you, the two people who didn't like each other, come on. That right there would be a crazy hit. But not Diddy, Chopper. I guess everybody seen Diddy like her or Bad Boy or whatever. So Chopper made it his business to get under my skin every fucking chance he got. Like, I was sitting there and Chopper was talking shit under his breath the whole time. I'm like, what the fuck he talking about? Like, man, this nigga. Because we still knew. Well, I ain't really know him like that. And it's still a bunch of contestants. So everybody was complaining about Chopper that day and the days before, but just so happened Chopper comes to start fucking with me this day. So he talking on his breath, looking at me like, I'm like, what the fuck? Anyway, so I turned my chair away from him. And you know how to spin a chair and your feet touch the other person? Chopper is so fucking petty, right? My feet touched his shoes, and he's like, yo, these warrior shoes. Don't be touching my shoes, Bodie, and all that shit. I said, who the fuck you talking? I started going the fuck off. Chopper like, I said, no, you ain't gonna sit over here and fuck with me on the low. We about to be all out in the open with this. And I would not like come down because Chopper was the person, like, it was like, okay, it's a mental game with him, so I'm gonna fight with you. And then what a lot of people don't know is the night before they picked the band is when I found out Chopper had a little crush on the nigga a little bit.
Chopper wanted a little mysterious.
Yeah, man, come on. They always in the room showing they good goods. So, you know, that's what it is. That's what it is. That was back in the day. You know what I'm saying?
So the next thing we see regarding Mysterious is, and Mysterious, I'm so sorry to admit, but I was laughing so hard at you when you were on that field. We spoke about it earlier, but speaking about it especially now, when you were on that field and you were falling out and they had to come get you, and then you went to the hotel and you were screaming. I was like, what the fuck wrong with Mysterious? Why is she screaming like this? And then, you know, the part that got me, and I actually like, I said, you know what, I respect her. I was telling my partner, it was the part when they put you on the stretcher and they were trying to put the sheets on you, and you was like, don't put no white sheets on me. Don't put no white sheets on me. I don't want no white sheets. Walk us through that moment. What was going on? What pushed you to that limit of you going bananas, falling out screaming, and then, like, were you hurt? Were you in pain? What happened, Mysterious?
Yeah. So that's, but number one, that's another reason why I know I had to turn into the artist I am now, which is a theatrical artist, the theatrics, you know. I caught some badass fucking Charlie horses. Them things was moving up the bottom of my feet to the back of my calf to my thighs, and that it would not stop. It was like, man, oh Lord, like I couldn't stretch my legs out. I could do nothing. When I tell you Diddy worked you into the ground, and I did everything just not to go home, man. So now they because you know this is a new, you know, reality show. They don't know what's going on. They call the paramedics. Now I'm like, oh fuck. In my mind, I'm like, oh now the weekend. I get in the fucking ambulance. Did you see Pocahontas all crying and shit? Shout out Pocahontas. I miss her. So when they came, and I really was trying to walk away from the stretcher because I was like, Diddy is gonna send me home. This is too much. The damn ambulance came, the police outside. Oh Lord, somebody. So then when they went to put me in that stretcher, this was a real moment for me. I really started seeing a lot of people that I knew passed away. I really did, and I really started freaking out, like, because I just went through a big traumatic situation in Detroit, and you could look it up. It's in the Metro Times. It spoke about me being around when somebody got murdered, and I, and I was there. You know, it's public. It's knowledge. It's public knowledge. So it's like, okay, when the sheets came, it was like, oh shit! I started seeing everybody that I knew, even in childhood. I was like, oh shit, no, don't put that shit on me. And I really like had a moment at that time. So, and then I didn't know it was going to be seen. I didn't know they was going to keep it. You know, I didn't know none of that.
So you guys were having a sit down with, I think it was Allison. And she was asking you guys a bunch of questions. But unbeknownst to y'all, Diddy was watching the entire time and was feeding her questions. What was that moment like for you?
That was so funny because at one point, Alice sat in front of me and said, "What you say, Diddy?" in her ear, and she had to walk out and walk back in because I guess that's when they told her like, listen, you fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But that was really intense. So
Mm-hmm.
that's where I get for like in my auditions when people come audition for me and my tour and different things, the intimidation factor, I got that shit down to a motherfucking science because that shit right there, having somebody there and then talking in the earpiece and you can't hear what they saying and he could be clowning you right there and you don't even know and they got to keep a straight face. Like that right there was like so intense, but
Mm-hmm.
it also helped me as a artist be able to handle that wave of intimidation and, you know, take control of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How was that talent show that you guys did in the club? I'm trying to say, yeah, it was the final
Oh my
talent
God,
showcase
look,
in
really
front of
in that.
Diddy.
Hey, look, you really in that. I like.
I told you I just binge watched all of
Oh
this.
my God, you give the best making a band interview ever. I swear to God, because they only deal with one part with me, and that's it. Like, that actually was my favorite part.
Oh.
That right there, because I used to be in a marching band in school, and it
Mm-hmm.
reminded me of when I used to be in practice and the drum line because I played the drums. I started off playing violin in elementary. Then the middle school was the saxophone and drums, and in high school it just ended up being the drum line. Right? I know how to play the piano too. So when we got there and it was the live band,
Mm-hmm.
man, that's why I took that mic. Like, hold up, I need to do this in school. This right here ain't nothing but practice, and it really made me see like now I want to do a whole live band album.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I love the live band. That was my favorite part of the whole. That one right there was my favorite.
There's nothing like a live band where you're on stage and you just feel the pulse. And to me, it just feels like pulses. It just feel like everybody's just on one accord and it's just like power. It's just power, power, power. That's why there's nothing like performing in church for me. There's nothing ever like
Yes,
church because
I'm a
it's
big
like
fan of yours. I'm
uh,
sorry.
oh
I have
I
to say
appreciate
that. Yo, I was listening to your music earlier today. Like, I'm like, yo, what? Yo, you got that. Like, your bars, your connection, your attitude, your swag. I fuck with it heavy.
I appreciate it, Mysterious.
Get back. That's my shit.
I
And the one
appreciate
that
it.
you got on your page now, that's my shit. I'm sorry. I just had to tell you publicly. Like, that shit hard. You hard.
I appreciate you. Thank you so
Yeah,
much. So much.
hard.
So we talked about the final, we talked about the show. Okay, so here we go. And this is something like I talked to the people, we talked, so we're gonna get into it. So on the show, the world saw in real time an unfortunate tragedy involving your sister, right? So when I checked in with you before this interview to see if it was something that could be discussed, you okayed it as long as we focused on domestic violence and advocacy for that. So
Yes.
what is your what is that you would like to share with us about that situation and domestic violence?
Yes. So my god sister at the time, not my biological sister. I had a god sister named Marquita as well as my biological sister. My god sister was dating this guy. You know how that goes, the dudes in the hood. And I'm not gonna say everybody in the hood is like that, but this is just what happened. He was a very jealous character. He did a lot of, I want to say, robberies, like petty crime type of stuff. And she calls herself leaving him, and things got a little, not a little, a lot of bad, to where she ended up getting chopped up and thrown in the trash can. And he killed himself, straight up. That's one incident. And we all have to. I'm sorry, I gotta just get through that a little bit, but
Take your time.
we all have to really pay attention to our loved ones and the people that they're dating. You know, we really have to do that. And I'm not saying like be in a business as far as pushing them away. Like, yo, I don't fuck with that nigga. You know how that go. You could push people away too doing that. You have to be involved, be an ear, always have your door open. Don't be like, yo, if you fuck with that nigga again, I ain't fucking with you, because you never know what could happen. You know, I had 2 friends actually who died from domestic violence, and I want to shout out the bad boy, and I want to shout out Diddy, because Diddy, a lot of people didn't know, Diddy had sent flowers for the incident. Diddy had sent money to help with the funeral at the time. Diddy did that for me. So even with me coming back on the show spazzing out, I had no right to do that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's like, for me, when it comes down to Diddy, he got a real soft space. I'm talking about right here. You know what I'm saying? In my heart for that. A lot of people thought it was my biological sister. I'm like, no, it wasn't my biological sister. Because I have a biological sister named Marquita. Thank God she's still living. I have another friend who got murdered around the time. Her name was Lorraine. Another incident with domestic violence. She was dating this guy, and me and her had this whole thing that, okay, you about to make it with making a band, I'm going to make it with the modeling thing. Like, this was my bestie from, like, elementary school. Now, mind you, both of them I knew from elementary school. Lorraine was dating this guy, and I did not like him, Oliver. It was just, he was quiet, but he wasn't the quiet of what you think. He was like the sneaky quiet. You feel me? Like, he was the type that treated my friend a certain way away from us, and treated her a certain way around us. You know, I used to talk to her about him, talk about his little jealous fits and different things like that. She didn't listen to me. Was dating a guy for a while. Then when she finally listened to me, I guess the guy had a key to her house. She was upstairs sleeping in her bedroom. He came in the house and stabbed her up 33 times and shot her in the head with her own gun. And then he proceeded to the living room, waited for her brother Vaughn. We all grew up together. And when he came in from work, shot him in the head with her own gun. Proceeded out the house, went into with other females around the neighborhood, used the ray gun and killed them. Killed these women. Their mom stayed to this day, stayed next door to the house. She had this feeling like, yo, I need to go check on my kids because I haven't seen them all day. She goes over there. She says she's seen the door all like, because I went and seen her not too long ago. Because I wanted to talk to her and get her side. Because I wasn't able to do that for years. You know what I'm saying? To go back to Detroit and face certain things like people I lost and the tragedy of me making it. So recently I was able to like do this. So her mom was telling me how she went next door and checked, and the way the door was, like she couldn't get in. So she had sent somebody like, yo, go in there and check on my kids. So when they went inside, they told her, ma'am, you can't come in here. She's like, why? What? They said, just call the police. She was stabbed 33 times upstairs, shot in the head, and her son was shot in the head in the living room. All through domestic violence. So it's like that area in my life, like when I go talk, I talk from that standpoint of view of safety, protection, and knowing the people that you're dating. You know, it's okay to get therapy, like trying to figure people out. You know what I mean? Like, we never know what this individual may be feeling or going through. It is a such thing as dementia. Jealousy is a form of dementia. A lot of people, because you're seeing something that's not there. So anybody is accessible to get that disease, a dementia. You know, you be like, hold up, I probably was with somebody and I ain't never felt like this before. And then all of a sudden you get with somebody, you get a little touch of dementia. You have to see about yourself. You have to see about the person when they start doing little things like that. You have to really make sure you're safe. I'm big on that. You know, so going through that during making a band. So when I came back, I really wanted to be in the band now. It was like, okay, if it's for me,
I do remember you saying that.
Yeah, I'm going to do it. But I think Diddy took it from a point of view like, oh, I don't want nobody else to use this to get on. But truthfully, that's what it was there for. I don't think everybody wanted to stay in the band forever. Mm-hmm. You know, but I would have been bad boy probably forever. You know what I'm saying, to my heart. But I would have had to grow eventually. But I was really being honest. Like, I was willing to go through. I mean, I lost my god sister at that time, and we dreamed about this type of stuff, and then losing other friends. I mean, it was like I'm here now, but again, for those people who's watching and you don't get a chance to see sometimes you gotta watch your mouth in the moment, and that's real rap. I did a lot of, I feel, and I didn't have a safe place. Like if I was friends with you, Oliver, back then, I probably could have told you everything. You were like, "No, bitch, don't go, don't do don't just do that, bitch." I'm like, okay. But at the time, I didn't have like real support of people who was really happy for my position.
Mm-hmm.
People were jealous, so it was like, yeah, fuck Diddy. Go over there and tell that nigga fuck him. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, fuck this nigga. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I didn't really have the support. And then by the time my friends who got murdered, it was like, I know they would want me to do it. You know what I'm saying? So let me go ahead and do it. But by then it was too late. So.
What do you or would you tell somebody going through domestic violence right now? Something to help them realize what's going on and get out of it.
Okay, so I could share about me. I shared on my story. I don't know if you've seen the house. It had the bullet holes in the wall.
Mm-hmm.
I was 15 years old. I was dating my other baby. If I remember, I said the guy before this one. He was very jealous. So if it's a woman out there who's dealing with first sign of jealousy, dementia, that you don't get your ass whooped or get mental shit without some form of this person going through dementia, right? Mm-hmm. So in this story with me, the bullet holes, he was shooting at me.
Oh, wow.
I was standing right there. And then on the other side, like when people see my documentary, on the other side of the wall is more bullets filled up. I was 15. He was 16. Wow. His mom and everybody lived in that house. He was off the chain. You talk about gang members in the house. You talking about certain things going on. And I didn't have what I learned, because we're going to get to that later on in life. The proper escape plan. Having an escape plan is real. You cannot be sitting there let this nigga know you gonna leave. We always do that. Nigga, I'm about to leave you. I swear to God, I can't take this no more. You cannot do that. You gotta straight up act like everything the same, everything normal. Have your people on the side drop, and right when you don't see, that's when you get away, but you can't go back. But a lot of our dopamine be
Come on, serious.
At a high, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So when you leave away from him, they don't understand about the dopamines. You're gonna start going through that fix. You're gonna start going through that withdrawal, and then what happens is a lot of people kick back. I gotta get my dopamine. I gotta get high again. They go back around that person. Now that person wanna fuck you up because he feels demented. You done left him for another nigga. You did all this crazy stuff. But you back for your dopamines, and now you done probably fucked around and got murdered. So rule number one, and I say murdered all the time because you see women getting burned with grease. I have stories of like my friend who got chopped up, the one who got stabbed up. You know what I'm saying? And I have a lot of stories, to where people with dementia have symptoms in certain places, and because of the other person's dopamine and not being able to go through that withdrawal from that individual, is how you find yourself more in quicksand. So now you get higher and higher. He's dumping more stuff on you, and when you try to leave, it's really bad. So I would say to the person that's trying to leave, like myself, it really was a bad tragedy how I ended up leaving. Not even with the gun part. I still was there after that because I was scared as hell. And the dopamine. You know what I'm saying? Because in the process of everything, can I be grown on here?
Mm-hmm.
For him to be 16 and me to be 15, that nigga was fucking me like he about 40. You understand what I'm saying? Shit. I'm talking about that dude. I didn't know little boys could eat pussy back then. God.
Oh my God. Oh
my God. I was done up from the floor. You know what I'm saying? What I'm
saying? Go off mysterious.
So it was like, oh, I can't. And then I was such a tomboy, and it was like, oh, he's my boy. He's like really put me out here, it was just so much. And I got away because he got abusive to one of my children. He actually abused one of my children, and that's another story that I want to come talk to you about in person because it's so deep. It's so deep. And I ended up jumping out the house that I sent you in the inbox, the second floor window out. Went to the top of the car and ran with my child bloody. So at the end of the day, I've been through and before I continue, God will put us through the same things until you get it. And that's not the last time I've been through something traumatically abusive in a relationship. But the last time I went through what I went through, Oliver, I got it. I got it. And that's all I want to say. And I want to say to the young ladies, you have to have an escape plan. And you have to understand the dopamines. What's dopamine? Mysterious is the same thing that happens like if you get high off weed, if you get high off of whatever, pills or whatever. It's the same thing that's let off into your DNA. They give you that high. Love gives you that same feeling. And that's why too with the supporters, with our people in relationships, we have to understand the dopamines too. That's why you can't pull them away. You be like, why the fuck you won't leave? They high. It's a high. It's a fix. It's a high. So you have to be there, try to figure out how you can get them unhigh or whatever the situation may be. But my advice is you have to have an escape plan. You have to know this is what you want to do. You have to understand that dopamine is you want to go through withdrawal, but you gotta get through it. It's like a heroin addict. Once you get through it, you're good. And this too shall pass. As long as you only got one life. So.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And this is why I've fell in love with talking to past personalities from reality shows, because of course we're going to talk about the bullshit, but it's such a great conduit for greater conversations, more important conversations, and I really do appreciate you sharing your story and sharing your advice and the knowledge that you know with other people, because I'm pretty sure somebody watching this now or later on YouTube will be inspired, or they can tell somebody else what you just said. So I really do thank you a lot, Mysterious.
Thank you for having this platform and making me so comfortable, because look, I was scared. I ain't gonna lie. Mysterious, like, hold up, I've been doing so good. I don't want nobody to be like, well, bitch, you never. Like, hold up, I got a story to tell. It wasn't like that, So I want to say thank you for being a spirit of comfortability, strength, and love.
I appreciate that. It's God. It's not me. It's God.
Yeah, God did this.
I don't do shit just to sit down and put on some glasses and smile. So, but I appreciate you.
Yes.
I appreciate you. We got some more questions. We ain't done yet.
Okay.
So let's talk about one of the iconic moments of Making the Band, period, when Diddy is down to the wire trying to choose who he's going to put in the band. He's in the house, and he makes y'all go on one side of the room and the other side of the room, and he tell y'all to battle it out. How was that? You was battling against Mina Monroe. Baz was in there. It was crazy. Yes. How was it?
To be honest with you, Diddy made me know why, because Babs and Mina Monroe had the biggest feud in the house. Because Mina felt like, hold up, if she got cut, then why did he bring her back? He had a lot to say. So Mina, I don't even know what Mina Monroe is doing right now. I don't even know if she calls herself Mina Monroe. I wonder if she's still, rapping or what she doing. But at the time, Mina had a lot of, she was like to be honest, she was like the first, like how she was the first like Cardi B, a reality show type. Rang out, always talking shit, the motherfucker in the middle of shit, So that day was very intense. And when Diddy made me sit down, I thought, like, hold up, did I lose? But then I noticed that Diddy wanted them two to duke it out. Diddy was saying at the time, and people at Bad Boy was like, Babs and Mysterious got such a different type of flow. You can't compare the two.
Mm-hmm.
Nina Monroe and Babs had so much like similar.
It was similar, very New York style, very, very, very New York style. Nina Monroe actually sounded like Foxy Brown a little bit to me.
Yes, she was
Mm-hmm.
back, and she was that. She was really a bad girl back then. But the thing is, she used to always mess up all the time, and that used to piss them off. She could have been in the band, no bullshit. If she did not mess up.
You think that's what happened because she kept messing up?
Hell yeah, Diddy. They'd be like, she'd be going hard, be like, oh my God, you messed up. He'd be like, I don't want to put no money on it. We about to have $1 million tours, and you get on that stage and you mess up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You can't be doing that. So that's what really like messed her up, was her messing up and stuff like that.
So we have a question from Tez Derillis, who was asking, can you ask Mysterious, why would she say she wanted to be a solo artist in front of the cameras while attempting to make the band? And she did not think it would get back to Diddy. I was saying the same thing. I was like, why does Mysterious keep saying this?
Okay, I'm gonna say, right? So, this was so, say it when you say Mysterious, it was so stupid of you.
Mysterious, it was dumb as fuck.
So, I really felt like Diddy and me, I felt like, okay, I had my lawyer at the time. My lawyer told me that the contract was trash, right? And he did tell me the best thing to do would be not to make the band. But you have to be able to make yourself a market or a person that everybody remember you. So I was like, okay, me strategizing. A lot of people didn't know I was strategizing with Larry Rudolph, who was my attorney at the time, which was Britney Spears' attorney, right?
Oh.
So we were plotting together, and his whole thing was, okay, Mr. Spears, you there, you in the spotlight, you have to figure out how you're gonna make everybody know you. So I'm like, okay, I could go this way, oh, Mysterious, we like Mysterious, or I could really become a personality. So I said, you know what? Ain't nobody being like a little thorn in the side. Let me try it. I started saying, I want to be solo. And, it looks like what they going to say? Like, is it going to get back? And it did. And by the time, I was really like, yeah, I want to be in the band, that shit backfired. You know what I'm saying? Because Diddy really was watching everything, and Diddy really took a liking to me. He really took a liking. He took me everywhere. I'm talking about TRL, all that stuff. And you see when Nina Monroe got mad at me when he let me leave and go to the studio with Demo Wet. Like everybody else couldn't leave the house. And Nina was like, look, so look at Mysterious. She could just leave the house. I'll take her out. Let's get. And I wasn't putting two and two together. Like, hold up. I'm in the band. They ain't even got no script. This is so raw. Let me chill out. No, I was like,
you wanted to turn it up.
I was in gall. And then when Diddy came and confronted me that night, did you see that?
Yes, when he actually, and he was like, Diddy was like, so do you want to be in the band? And you was like, if the opportunity is for me to be in a band, I'm going to be in a band. He was like, that's not what I asked you. And I was like, I'm literally on the couch days ago. I'm like, Mysterious, just say yes, I want to be in a band. Be a team player, Mysterious. Just be a team player.
That's why I should have had you as my friend back in the day.
I just said, bitch, you should have get this motherfucking money, at least some of it. If he don't only give y'all 2 pennies, but go get it.
Exactly, and that's
I love you, Dad.
What I'm saying, like with everybody that's even had the opportunity during making a band, Diddy's about to get a Lifetime Achievement Award for BET. And congratulations to Diddy. I want to be the first one to say, if I'm not the first, but look, Diddy getting a Lifetime Achievement Award. So let's think about that for a second. Band members, everybody, when Diddy wanted me to be the coach, let's talk. How can you tear down someone who the Lifetime Achievement Award was already in process of gaining? And nothing that nobody said, Freddie P. Oh, everybody from the Locks on down. Oh, Diddy's the work from Mace on down is not stopping this man from getting the Lifetime Achievement Award. And I be wanting to ask people, what is your agenda and your motive when you go off on Diddy? Is it your motive to like take away all his money take away all his fame. He's not Diddy no more. What is the purpose? Me, when I went off on Diddy, it was TV time. It was showtime. To be honest, it was showtime. It was showtime. But we gonna get there. But it was showtime. So, Diddy is getting a Lifetime Achievement Award. You need to think about that. And he's
I think Diddy's dope. I mean, listen, I'm not excusing any of the allegations from, what people say about him. Those aren't my experiences. My experience is just seeing Diddy through the TV. So I can only go off my, and I like Diddy.
I love him.
I like Diddy. Always have.
Hey, look, if I get my chance, listen, I'm standing on your show. I'm working on a record. And I'm calling out Ross on it. Look, he might can't handle it. And I'm saying it on your show. Guess what record I'm doing? You might want to get in on it. Because it's going to be like one of them ladies' night out type of thing. Ring my bell.
Oh, that's cute.
You can ring my bell.
Oh, that's lit. That's lit.
And I want to, get Diddy involved in that. Why not? You know what I'm saying? I got some hits.
So we get to the final day. And this is from Lady J. Shout out to Lady J. She is asking, was Diddy as cold as he seemed on TV during her meltdown at the restaurant? Where he said, yo, somebody outside spazzing, go handle that, and kept eating dinner. What did the guy who came in the bathroom to check on you say? So we're just going to talk about the whole spaz moment. So Diddy's in the room, and Diddy is saying...
To be honest with you, I'm going to tell you, editing is a mug. I learned that, it's a whole stuff that happened that they got to chop it down to the exciting parts. So when you go back to the day, first of all, I was drunk.
Okay.
If you seen, I'm like, yeah, apple martini, you get that drink, everything that was going by, I'm grabbing. And I'm not a drinker, everybody. Mm-hmm. I am not a drinker. I am not a drinker. I could drink a little bit, but not the way I was drinking that night. So when Diddy was calling everybody, if you go back and look at the show, he'll call a name and he'd look at me. Then he'll call another name and then he'll look at me. Do you see me all like, you know what I'm saying? So when he called everybody on that side, I didn't know to look at me. Like I said, it was for him to give me a solo deal or whatever. I felt like Diddy purposely was taunting me. Because I was drunk, too. Mm-hmm. Now, if I was sober, it would have been like, what the looks about? Like, let me wait and see. I would have asked him because I'm there with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck you going to do with me? Why was you looking at me like that? But when liquor is in the play, you think all the craziest shit. I said, oh, this nigga wanted with me. This nigga wants sauce. So he knows how me and Chopper are at each other. Because remember, he said he was going to put 5 people in the band. He said in that last minute, he chose to put 6. So he looks at Chopper. He looks at me. He looks at Chopper. He looks at me. And he keeps his eyes on me and say, Chopper. You got to go back and look at it. And when he did that, I said, oh, these niggas. I said, this nigga just played me. And that's when Chopper talked like, yeah, boy, and all that stuff. And I was like, yo, don't they know I'm from the east side of Detroit? Don't they know I'll tear this motherfucker? So I goes in the back. Mind you, first I'm sitting there. And then the only thing running in my mind, now mind you, here come the cameras. They creeping. They from the other room. I'm sitting. I'm like, why are these fucking cameras coming? The show is over. The band done made it. Why the fuck they looking at me? So they can't close. I'm rocking now. I'm like, these niggas better get the fuck out of my face. As soon as the camera got close enough, they get in my face. I broke the glass because I need a moment. I needed a moment, Oliver. I was angry. I am a sore loser.
Yes. Matthias, you went bananas. What?
And I'm a ball player. People don't. I played basketball in school. I was definitely captain of the basketball team, and I was the one that when we lost, I would be the one to go in the locker room and go ham. And the coach would have to always come, Kimberly, calm down. Fuck back. We supposed to
Mm-hmm.
every game. What? That was me. So I was already going through a basketball moment, a sore losing moment.
You was drinking.
Like, I don't know how to grasp myself. I just lost in front of the whole world. And he looked at me and said, Chopper.
Oh, bitch, that was,
So I went in the bathroom and I was screaming. I was going off, and I was going off on myself in the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how the fuck you went through all these motherfuckers? I was giving it to myself. So I think that was Wolf, rest in peace, who came in that bathroom, and he was telling me, he was like, Mysterious, calm down, stop. Diddy got, I don't want to hear that. She kept saying Diddy had something for me. I'm like, I kept going. He like, wait, and he was trying to tell me wait, and that's when I left out the bathroom because I got mad because he was telling me Diddy had something for me, and I said, what the fuck he got for me? I'm coming out the bathroom, like, all that shit for nothing. And then you see the producer come over there like, yo, chill, because they were trying to tell me
Diddy had a contract for you. Oh, so okay. How did you eventually come to find out that Diddy had a contract for you? Was that
hard.
Hard,
Pierre. He ends up calling me like a couple of days later, and he said, why did you spaz out like that? Diddy had a contract for you. You really hurt his. He told me I hurt him. Mark Pitts. You know Mark Pitts, the producer? No. He even said that he did a lot of production for Usher and a lot of different people. He even told me, he said, yo, you really hurt Diddy feelings with that, spazzing out like that. He had a contract for you. And that's the true story of what happened with me with making the band. So that's why when people are like, yo, Diddy did, I'll be like, hold up. I really fucked that up. Like, because it was going to be, I think he was going to do it like Mysterious versus the band. You want to watch TV? He was going to do a Mysterious versus the band. And
mm-hmm. So how did that night come to an end? Because we see you, of course, the next day. I think you talking to Sarah, and you was like, I think it was one of the most heartfelt moments I think I've ever seen on TV, when you was like just saying, like, you know, you was coming, you know, you was talking to her and you was like, I wanted to get out of this. But how did that night end? Because we just saw you go down the street and you was ripping up flowers and they was following you. What happened? Did you go to sleep? How did you calm down?
They had me in Bellevue.
The crazy place.
Yes. That's how, because I thank God that MTV did not put me out there like that. They did not put me out there like that. What ended up happening was I spazzed out more than what y'all seen. When I was ripping the flowers going down the street, I started fighting the camera crew because they kept following me. The police came. Now I'm wilding the fuck out because I'm like, I sweat. I was a mad woman.
Oh my God.
Did he put my ass in the nut house that fucking night? Yes, he did. You want to act up, Misty? I got something for your ass. You want to get crazy? This bad boy, baby, we get crazy. I know where to put your crazy ass. And I learned my lesson. I didn't even know a nigga could do that. And when I came back, my producer came pick me up, took me to the house to go pick up my stuff. And that's when they was laughing at me. And that's when Allison and all them, I was upstairs like, yo, and I was in the fucking, like, this nigga really, like, why would Diddy do me like that? Like, I'm fucking angry about not making it and blah, blah, blah. And then that's when Allison and them was looking at me like, I didn't know then. They was just like you really fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so where, you know, just to speak from an educational point, having a lack of control.
Mm-hmm.
To where now I master that. Self-control is the best control.
That's what's up.
You know, to where I don't want to walk out on my blessings again or get slighted on something because I ain't control myself. Now, don't get it fucked up. Missy got them hands when needed. I have a lot of control, though. I get there. You know what I'm saying? So, because you never know. And that day haunts me.
Really?
That day haunts me so much because I'd be like, what if I would have just not? What would have happened if I would have just? What I had, you know what I mean? With all the stuff happened, like me getting with the wrong man after that, with all me getting locked up, with all that had happened, if I would have just had self-control. So to this day, that day haunts me. You know, to where it's like I purposely have self-control. I don't want no more haunting nights.
So you talked about it earlier a little bit when on season 2 of Making the Band 2, you come back on episode 8, and like the name of the episode is Mysterious is Back, or Mysterious is Returns, or some crap like that.
Yeah,
how was that getting that phone call saying they want you to come back? Like what was the behind the scenes talks around that moment?
It was an amazing feeling. It was amazing feeling. But I have to say again to everybody, I did not have the right supporting team. When I got the call, my heart was like, yes! I swear to God, Diddy knew the fuck. Back in this motherfucker for a time. But then my support system was like, yo, fuck that nigga Diddy.
Damn.
They like, man, that shit ain't real. That nigga fucking cut you in the beginning and da-da-da-da-da-da. Man, fuck that. You out here, you selling your own CDs, you doing this, you make sure that nigga know that. So when Diddy brought me and I when he hugged me, that was so genuine, but you could see in him like, something ain't right with Misty. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I had a pep talk from a people who had lack and was not in position like me. And we gotta be careful of who we take wisdom and who we let speak in our minds, because they can walk you right out of your blessings. So heart to heart, I wanted to jump all over Diddy like, oh, I got it, and just get right to it. But then I'm like, man, I gotta be real to my homies and shit. They right, you know what I'm saying? Fuck this shit, you know what I mean? So when Diddy called me, and he was being so humble. That's why Diddy was not that humble no more, like I feel, because the band and all of us truly had Diddy's heart, dog. Truly had that man's heart. Like, he really was trying to show the world who he was as a person and an executive, and we stole his heart. Here it is, all these kids from all over with all these problems, and then we all got talent, and Diddy like, shit, I've been there, but y'all gotta listen to me. Like, then he got involved in Dylon's court case. He got involved in helping sending money for a funeral with me, and you know what I'm saying? And we didn't take the time to really see, hold up, he really love us. So when the other seasons of Making the Band came around,
Diddy
he
said
was a different nigga. Like, man, fuck that. You little niggas ain't getting my heart to kill everybody. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like, you know, I when he called me back, that day haunts me, because Diddy was being very honest, very open. He said, you give me goosebumps, and I should have been like, yo, Diddy, I swear to God, I thank you. Let me get back on the show, and you feel me? Fuck what the band talking about. Put me in that house. I should have just went negotiating business, but I already had negotiated with my team who was leading me at the time to basically like, yo, and they said, yo, bring a Wendy Williams, which was his arch enemy at the time.
Did you do that? You didn't do that. Wait. I probably
Yes.
You
I said, yeah, I'm doing a lot of mixtapes, and I'm on Wendy Williams' show.
Oh, yes, you did say that. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You did.
Why? Where were you at, Oliver?
Girl, what year is this? Girl, I probably was in the first grade, second grade. I didn't know shit.
You even in the first grade would have told me chill out.
I would have been like, yeah, call me up.
Even you do that then. You know what I'm saying? But you live and you learn, to where now I just feel like I'm just a beast, to where, like, when I went to Rick Ross' car show and being able to deal with somebody like Rick Ross and their team and the business and stuff like that, you know, it only prepared me. And I know Diddy's around with all that, you know. So, you know, it only takes a matter of time before the world can see me and Diddy again. But I manifest that that's going to happen. and I manifest that we're gonna do that hit because everybody seen him with the band, but nobody ever seen what he could do with me.
Right. So, was after you did that appearance on the show, and we talked about it earlier. For those of you who are a little late to it, you can rewatch this when I upload this to my YouTube channel. But like the band at the time was like not here for you coming back. You did end up being on the album, but you're about to receive some royalty checks now. What happened after that? Was there any conversations with Diddy or Bad Boy about you guys potentially doing something, or was it that once that happened, that was it?
Always talk about perhaps me coming on the road and all that, but it was more so the band not wanting it. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
And it was like Diddy already overrode them. Like, nigga, I'm putting her on the album. Like, y'all gotta make me. I'm Diddy. You know what I'm saying? He probably looked like shit. Some of y'all wouldn't have been here if the motherfucker ain't say you deserve to be this man. You know what I'm saying? I was his first pick. So Diddy like, hold up, I'm gonna put her on the album. We're talking about making music. Y'all talking about something totally different. You know what I'm saying? But when it came down to like travel and probably filming me being on the road with them, everything that they already was going through, Diddy didn't want to add more drama.
Right.
And that's what I feel. Yeah.
So we're coming to the end of our chat, which I've thoroughly enjoyed this with Serious. Like, this is so fucking dope, and I know the people who will watch this will enjoy this as well. Thank you so much for being honest and just being transparent and charismatic and all that. It's been
thank
a
you.
pleasure. But we spoke, but you know, we spoke before this chat, you know, about many things. About, like, you know, what was your life after we saw you on TV, and of course there were some things that came out in the public that we know about. And you said, Oliver, we can talk about it, but I just want to talk about mental health at the end of the day and the importance of mental health. So I'm passing the wheel over to you to navigate this and bring this on home as you know, touch on some of the things that you went through afterwards and the message you want to leave us with.
After making a band, I went through a self-esteem thing. Like I said, I always was like a natural beauty, I want to say. Not so much cosmetic. I end up meeting someone, and here it is. I'm doing red carpets. I'm a reality star. I'm like, you know what? Marriage. That's the only thing that's left for me. I ended up marrying someone, and it's public. He's been out there doing interviews on me and all that. Let his side of the story be, but I'm going to tell you my side of the story. In my marriage, I was married to a very jealous man. He was a producer. I'm a rapper. He knew me from making a band. Once I got with him, he isolated me from a lot of my family, friends, even people in business, because it was all about him and me being in love with him and different things like that. The abuse was surreal, and I ain't talking about physical, the mental abuse, because all physical abuse starts from the mind. It doesn't he just haul off and wake up one day and hit you. It's a slow thing of tearing you down. So my mental started being torn down by him. I wasn't good enough. My emotions started getting torn down by this man. And in the process, I ended up getting pregnant. Now, this happened, like I said, 12 years ago. Ended up getting pregnant. And I really wanted to be with my ex-husband. I really thought that he was what I needed, you know. And again, remember, like I told you, God has seen you through these same tests until you get it right. So I loved him more than I love myself, to where I allowed him to do certain things, like I said, mental abuse and everything. It got around the time when I was supposed to get my own reality show at this time. Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. So when this incident happened was around that. My ex-husband ended up getting very upset about that, coming to the meetings and everything, spazzing out, dragging me out the meetings and everything about this damn reality show. Oh, they gonna call you the boss. But in his mind, I done lost my bitch, real rap. You know what I'm saying? When that happened, when the deals start coming as far as wanting to give me my own reality show, at the time it was supposed to be Mysterious After the Band. That was the name of the show. He got abusive physically. On top of the physicality, it got so bad to where I tried to find myself in crisis. He came and took me out of crisis because he was my husband and he could do that. And he was telling people, oh, no, she's just trying to get attention, da-da-da. I said, no, something is wrong, buddy. The things that you're doing to me is really fucking with my head. And you put your hands on me, and I don't know which way to go, left or right, because I'm married to you. I don't have an escape plan. Me marrying you is supposed to be a sit-still plan, you know? In the midst of all of that, the baby came. When the baby came, oh my God, you talk about turned up season with abuse. So what happened, how I ended up at the hotel was, like about a week before that, my ex-husband was talking about I couldn't go to sleep. If I went to sleep, he was gonna kill me.
Oh my God.
Talk about how crazy he was gonna make me. He was saying that. I went to my job trying to tell people. I went to work and I passed out too. And they called the ambulance and they called my husband. I didn't want them to call my husband because I knew I wasn't going to get the chance to go to the hospital, but they had to because he was my emergency contact. He came, he told the ambulance, oh, she don't need to go. She don't need to go. She's going to go home with me. Gets in the car. So now I was going to Kingdom Church at the time. I was dealing with Pastor Daniels. Shout out to Pastor Daniels because he prayed for my child and everybody my child is living, but I'm saying. So I was saying to him when we left from my job, I said, look, I need to go over here to the church because I feel like something's going to happen. I kept telling him that. Ain't nothing going to happen. I said, I feel this in my body. I feel like this is about to go left. I feel like within a second, something is going to change. Get me over here to this church. So he takes me to this church. And, he bitching. The fuck? I got my baby in the back, and I had my son Amari at the time in the back. So gets to this church. I go into one door, one way. Then when I was looking for the pastor, he was in the meeting. They wouldn't let me talk to him, right? So I said, all right, I'm about to leave. I can't even get to the pastor. So what ends up happening was the other door, I came out the opposite door than where he dropped me off at. The dementia started. This nigga said I was fucking the pastor. I get in a car. This nigga like, you gonna fucking disrespect me like that? And hit my head up against the motherfucking the car window. That shit shattered. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh shit, this shit going down. The baby's in the back. I'm like, oh my God, my husband gonna kill me today. So now we gets to the house. His friend there. He takes his friend home. I just get in the house. I had my baby in the car seat at the time. I'm tired. Some say don't even take him out the car seat, So he comes back to the house. I'm upstairs. We start fighting about me fucking the pastor. I was not fucking the pastor, and he hits me. I tell him, look, I can't do it no more. I threw my hands up like, dog. You know that feeling like, oh, it was that when I threw and I think he felt it like, oh, this is it. I said, I can't do this no more. Threw my hands up, Oliver, it was on. I'm talking about we tussling all the way down the fucking stairs. We fighting now. And to the point where my titties got bit up. He bit up my breast. I'm fighting for my life. You know what I'm saying? My kids is there. My Amari screaming. Chuck screaming. I don't know how I got him off of me. But he got off me and he ran out the door. When he ran out the door, he hopped in the car and he left. My titties bloody, bit up. I had a purple dress on that day. I went next door to the neighbor and I said, please call me a cab. I didn't even say the cops because I felt like he gone. Let me go to somewhere, get somewhere safe, and then I'm gonna leave the state. They called. At first, she didn't want to because she was a neighbor who always heard us fighting. She always heard us fight. And in the neighborhood, they did not want to get involved. You know how neighbors don't want to get involved in certain things, but I begged her, please call this cab. She called the cab. I went downtown to the Marriott and hey, say hi.
Hi.
Oh, how you doing, little man? How you doing? What's your name?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you so
Hi,
cute. How you doing, little buddy?
So I went down to downtown to the Marriott, trying to fix up on my wounds. My baby was still crying, and I was just trying to get a moment, Oliver. You know what I mean? and he wouldn't stop. It was nothing I could do to calm him. I didn't know nothing about postpartum psychosis at the time. I didn't know nothing about postpartum depression. You know, I didn't know postpartum depression and baby blues was the same thing. You know what I'm saying? I thought they was like different things, you know. I don't want to go into like it really happened within a second of like, you know, telling my baby to please be quiet, and I shook my baby, be quiet. But it wasn't a thing of me going all like how people would think of the glass, because that's the thing that hurted me. People didn't know I love my children. Like, I have 6 kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a mother of 6. This happened to my 5th child. You know, at the time I only had 5, but now I got 6. You know what I'm saying? So to be in a situation where you can just lose yourself in that quick of a second, you know, and what happened was I ended up calling. I ran downstairs and told the people at the front desk to call the cops on me. They didn't find me in no hotel by myself, salivating on my baby. No, as soon as it happened, I said, "Oh my God, I lost my cool." Went downstairs, told them to call the cops. When the cops came, I swear to God, I fell asleep. Right there, because I didn't get no rest. I fell asleep. We got to the hospital. They told me what was going on. I was screaming and stuff like, "Oh my God, I can't believe I just want to get the red." I was out of my shit. And the doctor even said she has lack of rest. There's a lot of depression going on. It's looking like psychosis. I didn't know what that was, you know. And here we go. You know, when I went down to the courts, it was bad. You know, to be a mom and the person that harmed your child due to mental was a real crazy moment in my life. So when they did the psychological evaluation, they did 4 of them, and it all came back that I had postpartum psychosis. They was trying to give me less time than what I took, but I wanted the more time, because being the person that did it, and as the mom, if it was somebody else, hell no, motherfucker, I want you to do some time. I don't understand that shit. I wouldn't want to hear postpartum, motherfucker, you did something, you know. And that's how I dealt with myself, even during the course of incarceration. I did not give myself no sympathy card. I didn't give myself even understanding postpartum. Once I got inside of the prison and dealing with a lot of different women and people who knew me, I took therapy. I took it upon myself to go to therapy and find out what's first. I went for postpartum psychosis to find out what the fuck that was. And then in the course of therapy is when I found out how it ended up in psychosis was because I had depression. I had severe depression, PTSD, anxiety, and all this shit cooked up in one. And then when you have a baby, it can magnify the baby blues to where now you're out your shit. To where, you know how the women, you be like, yeah, how this woman stabbed the baby? She's out her shit. That's psychosis, you know. And a lot of the dogs get it. That's why they tell you don't touch a dog pup, because they won't recognize it from the smell. So I was at a point of lack of sleep. I had insomnia too. You know what I'm saying?
You're going through a lot.
It was a lot. And then us not understanding mental health at that time. Woo! When I tell you the community went against me, oh, and I felt like, you know what? Y'all have every right. You're right. I broke a glass. I'm crazy. I don't need no help. I don't need nobody to write me here and say, "Hey, Mysterious, I'm praying for you." Or, you know, when I first got locked up, Oliver, I purposely for the first 2 months did not eat no food. All I did was drink. They thought I was trying to commit suicide. 60 days straight, I would not eat. I would only sit and drink, and I was hating myself. And I was just like, I hate my skin. I'm the one who was making the band. And why I gotta be like this? And why did God write this for me? And I'm never going to get out this hellhole. And I'm never going to, like, especially with love, I felt like, oh my God, nobody's ever going to love me. Ever. And sometimes to this day, like, I feel like that, like, I have my son now, Legend, was a great is the greatest thing that happened to me. You know what I mean? Because he shows me again, I am a great mother. You know, that was a situation, and I'm more equipped now, you know what I mean, to where I make sure my mental is all right. I'm still in therapy. I still go do group things. I do a lot of things just to make sure that I'm in line with making sure that I'm good, you know. But having such a story like that, Oliver, I'd be like, yo, it's going to take a special person to even, I don't want to cry. This is not a show to cry. You know, I got to stay smiling, but it's going to take a special person to want to stand next to somebody who has been troubled like me, but who has made it. That's why my story of the billboard, the royalty checks, me having my company, the Missy TV, and you know what I'm saying? It's on Wall Street, and you know what I mean? People like Ross and them embracing me and like, look, your story can help the world. And you know, that's really my story. And I hated my skin for so long, Oliver. I did. You know, that's why I was kind of scared to talk to you about it, because it was like, yo, I'm going to start living. I don't want people to look at me how they dealt with me back then. Mental depression with women, with babies and all that stuff, and especially if they're in an abusive situation, is real. And it's real. And I never thought I would be. I never thought.
You know what, Mysterious? I'm not no preacher. I'm not a psychologist. I ain't no therapist. I just feel like I'm a good person who just know a little bit of something. Mama, you keep telling your story. You keep telling your story. I wasn't there. I don't know what everything that has gone on, but God clearly has delivered you and restored your family and put you in the right place. Mama, you keep telling your story. You keep telling your story. There's so many people right now on this Instagram chat right now thanking you and saying, agreeing and sending you love and stuff like that. And a lot of times I'm learning in life what we think our life should be. God already has a different plan. And his plan is always greater, Mama. You keep telling your story. Like, I think you are beautiful. I think you are so talented. You're the first person that I wanted to interview for this, because watching you on the screen even years ago, I was like, I can feel her story. I can feel her passion. I can feel it. It's a real thing. And the way that you so eloquently talked about mental health, domestic violence, all these other things, and you're still here, girl. You're still here. Your life is healing. You got your children. You got faith. You got fire. You got passion. That is a testimony, Mysterious, that is touching me right now. I'm pretty sure it's touching people out there. And when people watch this, it's going to touch them. Mama, you got it going on. That's all I'm gonna say. I ain't going to get too much in it. And you should be. I'm very proud of you. I'm just not meaning, but you should be very proud of yourself right now for even being to speak about it the way that you're talking about it, and still be able to smile and have the spirit and have the passion and the drive and the vision for yourself. That is remarkable, and to me that shows a testament of God's power. So thank you so much for even inviting me and my friends here in this moment in your life, sharing this moment, because I think that is so dope.
Thank you for being an angel, because it's only certain people that can hold a story like that and not be bitter, or, you know, because, you know, it was a child involved, and I thank God he's living. That's another thing. He's living. You know, he didn't die. I just want to thank you for being who you are. You know, people need to take notes from you. You know, it's not all about belittling people or, you know, pointing a finger. It's really about allowing us, like you said, to have a platform to where we can feel safe. And I felt safer than I was scared. Not scared. I was nervous all day. I was like, oh man, I don't know. You know what I mean? So thank you for your smile. Thank you for your breathing pattern. You know, because a lot of people don't understand even a breathing pattern means something. You're breathing to where you breathe me into the conversation. Like, you feel me? You feel safe, you know what I'm saying, to where I was able to pick up on that. And I want to thank you. And may you have, like, the biggest success that I see for you, you know. And may you be a part of my life story and the movie I'm putting together and stuff like that. You know, who knows what may happen with this, but I want to thank you so much for your platform. Thank you for the day you thought about doing it. You know what I'm saying? Thank you.
I mean,
for,
I'm
like,
just a nosy bitch. Like, I'm not an interview nosy. I just like being nosy, and I just like asking questions. And I've always listened. I've always sat in the front of class and raised my hand and be like, I want to know. I want to know. It gets me in trouble sometimes, but it comes from a good place. And so again, I'm just grateful. Like, I'm just grateful to able to share this moment with you, and you pouring your heart out like this. This is so beautiful. And like I said, you just keep on going, Mysterious. Like, clearly you have power that this guy who saw you years ago and saw you again was like, I need to reach out to her and talk to her and see what is going on. So you keep doing your thing, Mysterious. Like, and I'm pretty sure you gain some supporters. You just keep doing your thing. I've been on your page. You be moving and shaking and doing your thing. You keep doing your thing. Keep doing, stay healthy, mentally, physically, spiritually, all the other stuff. And Mama, you got it.
Yes, and you stay my friend.
I got you. No, we friends for life. We friends for life. That boy for life.